obviously, like any other country, Uganda did suffer with the coronavirus pandemic. There was a restriction in economic activity because of lockdowns, restriction of movement. Government funds were being diverted to pandemic-related activities. So there were sectors that weren't receiving enough funds for operations. And obviously, there was an increase in public debt. So that really hindered the growth of the economy. So I believe in 2019, we had a growth of approximately 5.5 to 5.8%. But the estimates came in, and for 2020, it's estimated at literally 0.4 to 1.8%, something like that. So as you can see, there's a drastic decrease in the GDP growth. And throughout 2020, we endured a number of high costs personally in the pharmaceutical sector because of the logistics. That was our hugest hurdle last year because, they shut down ports. Majority of our inputs and raw materials come from India, China, and Europe, and they scaled down on their production, they scaled down on their shipments. So we were literally fighting tooth and nail to even get active pharmaceutical ingredients into the country. And then there was also from Kenya to Uganda, obviously it crosses the border. So it has to reach the Mombasa Port, and then it crosses into Uganda. So there was COVID testing happening at the port, and then it was happening at the borders. So that literally was delaying shipments by 15 to 30 days. So we really struggled a lot in the beginning with logistics. Actually, a lot of our sea shipments were diverted to air shipments. So we had to pay heavy air freight on a lot of our inputs. So it increased our production costs by 8 to 10%, which is quite a lot. And production costs are quite high anyway. So you can imagine what kind of hurdle that must have caused for us. The crisis definitely pushed us to being more assertive, versatile, and we had to be very innovative during the pandemic. We had, as I said, we suffered with a lot of logistics, and we've had to think out of the box to drive further ideas on how to improve or streamline our logistics, which we have learned from. And I would say, I think since we had the hurdle of in March and April, since June, we were way better at our logistics, and we were way better at timely delivery of our goods to the market. And that's what actually has driven our growth. So we just have to think about further innovation that would not hinder our growth, but would ensure that we remain progressive with the times that lie ahead.